Welcome to Gooseberry Science and Educational Videos. Today, we're going to talk about a single, massive number, 2,370 kilos, and the huge, almost existential question it poses for one of the most legendary names in performance cars.
Okay, so take a look at this. On the surface, it's the 2026 Audi RS5. It's the latest in a much-loved family that started with the iconic RS2. I mean, it looks aggressive, it looks purposeful, right? But underneath, it's got a secret, a technology that completely redefines what an RS car is and brings with it a massive contradiction.
And that brings us to the core question, the whole reason we're doing this explainer. When a performance car weighs nearly 2.5 tons, can it really, truly deliver that agile, thrilling experience its badge promises? Well, let's find out.
To get to the bottom of it, here's our plan. First, we'll look at the shocking recipe that leads to all that weight. Then, we'll unpack the hybrid power it unleashes. After that, we're going to uncover Audi's secret weapon on the rear axle, see how it fights the scales. And finally, ask if this is a whole new kind of RS.
All right, first up, let's just get right to the heart of the controversy, the number on the scale.
There it is, 2,370 kilograms. That's over 5,200 pounds. Let's be really clear. That is an absolutely astonishing figure for a car in this class. It's the elephant in the room, and believe me, it is a very, very big elephant.
And if you think that number is big on its own, here's where it gets really shocking. You put it next to its biggest rival, the non-hybrid BMW M3 Touring, and the difference is, well, it's staggering. We're talking over 500 kilograms. That's like carrying a grand piano in the back all the time. This is the massive engineering challenge Audi has set for itself.
So you might be wondering, where does all that extra weight come from? Well, it's a big battery and an electric motor. But here's the twist. Audi claims this plug-in hybrid system isn't a weakness. They say it's actually a core part of its incredible performance. So let's see how.
So the recipe is kinda simple on paper, but way more complex in real life. You take an already potent 2.9-liter twin-turbo V6 engine, and you pair it with a powerful 130-kilowatt electric motor. You put them together, and what do you get? A combined system output of a massive 470 kilowatts or 630 brake horsepower.
And what does all that power do? Well, it launches this 2.5-ton beast from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 3.6 seconds. That instant punch from the electric motor helps get all that mass moving with brutal efficiency, making it even quicker off the line than the old, lighter RS4.
But you know, the hybrid system is about more than just raw acceleration. It can travel up to 84 kilometers on pure electric power, turning it into a totally silent city commuter. And then, for when you need everything it's got, there's a boost button right on the steering wheel that unleashes full power for 10 seconds of maximum attack.
So the power is definitely there. But how on earth do you make something this heavy feel agile? Well, this is where Audi has pulled out its true secret weapon. The key here is a technology called torque vectoring. Now, in simple terms, it's a system that can intelligently send power not just front to back, but to individual wheels on an axle. The whole point is to help pivot the car into a corner, making it feel much sharper and more responsive. But Audi's system, it's different. This is a world first in a production car. See, instead of using brakes to slow the inside wheel, which is how most systems work, this one uses a dedicated electric motor and a super complex gearbox on the rear axle to actively push more power to the outside wheel. And the crucial point is just how unbelievably fast this is. So let's follow our little gooseberry mascot here. As the car turns in, the system is calculating the perfect torque split 200 times every second. In just 15 milliseconds, that's literally a tenth of the time it takes you to blink. It can send a huge wave of torque to that outside rear wheel. It effectively pushes the car's nose into the corner, rotating it with a precision that just shouldn't be possible for a car this heavy.
In the real-world effect, it's transformative. As the review from Haggerty put it, this tech isn't just a small improvement. It feels like a genuine leap forward for how an RS Audi handles. It's moving away from that classic, safe understeer to something far, far more engaging.
So this magic rear axle is definitely the star of the show, but it's not working alone. Let's see what else Audi is doing to fight that huge curb weight.
It's really a full-on technological assault. You've got that amazing electromechanical torque vectoring we just talked about, but that's supported by a new center differential for better turn-in, advanced suspension dampers to control the body's movement, and a body shell that's 10% stiffer for more direct feedback. Every single piece is working together to create an illusion of lightness.
And this quote just brilliantly illustrates the result. The technology is so effective that reviewers are saying something that sounds impossible. On a good road, the car doesn't just hide its weight, it can actually feel lighter than the model it replaces. I mean, that is an absolutely incredible feat of engineering.
So what does this all add up to? Well, it seems like what we have here is a car that fundamentally redefines what an Audi RS can even be.
And this is why it's so fascinating. On one hand, it's a quiet, efficient electric vehicle for your daily commute, but then you press a button and it just transforms. The V6 roars to life. That torque vectoring system engages a rear bias drift mode, and it becomes this aggressive, high-performance machine. It has a wider range of abilities than any RS car that's ever come before it.
Top Gear really summed it up perfectly. They said this car doesn't even try to be a lightweight purist special. Instead, it embraces its complexity and its weight, and just uses incredible technology to disguise it, offering this huge spectrum of performance, or as they put it, spades of bandwidth.
Which brings us right back to our big question. Audi's answer seems to be yes, a 2,370-kilo hybrid can be a true sports car if it's clever enough. And that leaves us with a final thought to ponder. In an electric and hybrid future, is the path to performance no longer about shedding weight, but about adding intelligence?